Hi everyone, welcome to the podcast. Today I'm going to take you through the 5 minimum things you should be checking in your builder's contract.
Are you an Aussie tradie and your paperwork is shady? Do the dockers farm side keep you up late at night? Are you sick of pushing paper, swinging your tools as more you caper? Call us the tricks of your trade.
Welcome to the Tricks of Your Trade podcast, where we talk about trade business topics to help you get through business life unscathed.
Does the builder pay you late and your cash flow fluctuates? Do you dread the office work? Can't afford a full-time clerk? Consider working smarter. Don't be a business martyr. Call us the tricks of your trade.
Hello, welcome to the Tricks of Your Trade podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Serson, construction lawyer, adjudicator, and director of Tricks of Your Trade. So I want to lead by saying these are not the only 5 things that I would have you check if you were going to do a proper contract review before you sign it. But if you're currently doing nothing at all and just signing your builder's contracts, or if you're just doing a little bit of a good bloke chook scratch on the scope of work in your builder's contract, this is what you need to at least be doing every single time. So it should be pretty much common sense for you guys, but there's so many subcontractors out there who don't check these things and have been caught. So the first one should be really obvious, but you would be surprised how many times it's wrong. It's the contract sum. You need to make sure that the number on your builder's contract is the sum that you have agreed to do the work for. And if there have been discussions about, oh, we'll sign the contract and then as soon as you sign it, we'll give you a variation because you've agreed to do this extra thing to the scope of work, don't fall for that trickery. Make sure that the contract sum reflects the scope of work that you've got. And if you are expecting to get a variation to do something extra and that contract sum is going to change, I would recommend that you ask the builder to amend the contract now to include it in your scope of work and amend the price now. But if the price can't be given, then you need to have notified in writing that this is going to need to be changed, that you have not allowed for this. Make sure that is attached to the contract and the contract sum reflects and the scope of work reflects that you will not be doing that extra thing. So number 1, check the contract sum, and caveat on, check the contract sum, but make sure that the builder doesn't say to you, I'll give you a variation the moment you sign. That trickery is age old. Builders have been doing it for years, and that's how they get you to include things that you have excluded at tender. Second thing you need to do is the drawing audit. So do not assume that the builder has printed the drawing register that you priced at tender and attached it to your contract. You need to make sure you check the drawing register immediately prior to signing the contract. You would be surprised how many times we have seen builders CAs switch out a drawing register, and it might be that there is only one little revision on there. One drawing has been revised in the wash up of the back and forth with the contract signing, and suddenly you are tipped into entirely different drawings and carrying out work that you never priced. Now, I always like to give builders benefit of the doubt about this, but recently I was having coffee with a staffer who had recently left working for a very big builder after about 20 years. And he told me outright that builders CAs do it on purpose, that they do it on purpose. They will print the updated drawing register and attach it to your contract because they want to be able to make you include things that you never priced. So always, 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 please make sure you check the drawing register just before you sign the contract. Don't assume that the last iteration, or if you've had a little bit of a back and forth, that nothing has changed. Now, your scope of work. Everybody will normally read their scope of work and have a little bit of a back and forth markup with their scope of work with their builder. Sometimes the builder will get you to sign your scope of work before they issue you with the contract document. That's not necessarily helpful because you, at that point in time, if you haven't seen the draft contract that the builder's going to ask you to sign, you may not actually agree to do some of the scope items if you had seen the contract document. So it's quite important that you read the scope of work in conjunction with the rest of the contract itself. But as a bare minimum, because this podcast is for those of you who are currently doing nothing, you need to check your scope of work. And when you check your scope of work, don't assume that it's obvious because you're a plasterer that you're not doing the downpipes that they've got listed. Don't assume that because you're a blocky that you're not doing this registered surveyor's plan for practical completion that they've got listed. You need to cross out anything that does not relate to your trade or anything that is not something that you are prepared to deliver upon under the contract. I have seen this play out so many times where builders have said, that was in your scope of work. There's a value for that work that you didn't provide, and I'm deducting it from your contract sum. So just don't ever assume that these all trades items, that it's common sense that it wouldn't apply to you, because you might just find that you have to deliver on that particular thing. Program and completion dates. So if you get given a contract by a builder and the construction program attached to the contract is 3 months old, which is every single job, and your practical completion date doesn't actually relate to that construction program at all, you need to be writing on the contract when you think you can complete by, or at least crossing out the dates for practical completion and saying within a reasonable amount of time when the revised program is issued. I say that because builders can hold you to those dates if you don't cross them out. There are no good bloke laws that will protect you if you sign a contract that says you're going to be finished next week and it's 4 months worth of work. You can't assume that common sense will help you. So please always check your program and the completion dates in the contract before you sign it. Now, the last thing is please, please, please always do a Control F in your builder's contract for the word guarantee or guarantor. So you can write it in as Guarant and not finish the word, and it will capture all the different variations of the word guarantee, guarantor, guaranteed. What you're looking for here is a director's guarantee or a parent company guarantee. Now, those guarantees are separate contracts with the director of your company, which is probably you, or a parent company that you might also own that has different assets or does a different type of business, and you have worked with your business consultants, your lawyer and your accountant, to make sure that your assets are separated. Now, if you go signing a parent company guarantee, that company is guaranteeing your obligations under this contract. So if you could just please at least go looking and make sure that you are not signing a personal guarantee. If you blindly sign your builder's contracts and you sign a director's guarantee every single time, you are nesting little eggs of liability around the countryside that could well come back and bite you. So guys, this is a really short episode. I just want to have the bare minimum. If you are doing nothing, if you are not reading your builder's contracts or reviewing your builder's contracts at the moment, and you only want to check 5 things, please check those 5 things. I'm going to repeat what they are. It's contract sum. Make sure you check the contract sum and don't agree to get a variation the moment you sign, because it won't come. Drawing audit. Always, please, just before you sign the contract, do a drawing audit, even if you did one at the start of the job or at the start when they first started negotiating the contract. Check your scope of work and cross out anything that does not relate to your trade, even if it should go without saying, or it's common sense that it is not something that your trade would normally provide. Make sure you check your program and completion dates so that you have a realistic amount of time for you to deliver your project work. And check for a director or a parent company guarantee so that you are not signing your life away with this builder's contract. So hopefully that was helpful. If you are currently doing nothing in terms of reviewing contracts, that gives you a bite-sized, manageable little tidbit of action that you can take that shouldn't be too painful for you to achieve. Now, if you would like a more comprehensive list of things that you should be doing in terms of your contract review, I have got a full comprehensive contract review checklist on my website, www.tricksofyourtrade.com.au. So if you head to the website, it's in the banner right at the very top of the homepage, get my contract review checklist. So if that's of interest to you, head over there and pick one up.
If you have any questions about what I've talked about on this podcast, feel free to drop me a good old-fashioned email at questions@tricksofyourtrade.com.au. If you would like a systematic approach to your contract administration and getting paid, head on over to our website and check out the Subbies Toolbox. You won't be disappointed there. And just one last time, our web address is www.tricksofyourtrade.com.au.
Are you an Aussie tradie and your paperwork is shady? Do the dockers farm side keep you up late at night? Are you sick of pushing paper, swinging your tools more you caper? Call us the tricks of your trade.
Welcome to the Tricks of Your Trade podcast, where we talk about trade business topics to help you get through business life unscathed.
Does the builder pay you late and your cash flow fluctuates? Do you dread the office work? Can't afford a full-time clerk? Consider working smarter. Don't be a business martyr. Call us the tricks of your trade.